All right, hello everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of the Mother Tucker podcast. Now, just a quick little disclaimer, this is going to be a pretty short episode because I don't have too much to go into. This is recorded April 29th, a day after episode 1. After this episode, the rest of the episodes will come out on Tuesday, so look out for those. They'll usually be around the same time as the last one, which is, I believe, 12 Eastern. For this episode, just a couple things to go over. First, I'm going to touch on a little bit of what happened yesterday. So, yesterday we talked about the state of the community. If you haven't listened to the last episode, I highly recommend you do to get a deeper understanding of what happened. But there are a lot of things going on that I don't agree with. I made my statement clear. I'm pretty sure that both parties involved have listened to the podcast, and some people are choosing to ignore what I said, which is in their right. But if you want to make the community better, you gotta stop what you're doing. Now, that's all I wanted to say on that. It wasn't really too much. I don't want to make this a very heavy episode focused on how the community is right now. But there is a really important thing I want to get out of the way right now. This is probably all I'm going to be talking about. I have retired from Charon industry. I do not know if I will ever return, but I am leaving and I have left on good standing. And I do not plan to attack Charon in any way, shape, or form unless I am attacked first. Now, I respect Charon as a community. I don't agree with a lot of the things that are said there or happen or come out of it, but it was my home, and I loved everybody there. I made a lot of friends, and I still want to be friends with all the people that I met there. So, if you know me from Charon, if you don't know me from Charon, I am still available to play with. I'm available to have you have you as a guest. Which, by the way, next episode we may have our first guest. We do not know who yet, but if you would like to be a guest, please DM us at Mother Tucker Pod on Instagram. I will then ask you guys a couple of questions when you DM me, and we'll see if you're the right fit for the episode. But yeah, moving back, I have retired from Charon for what I can see as indefinitely for now. I don't think I'm coming back within this year or next year. Left because I am going into policing and have to focus on my career, and I don't think I'd be able to, focus on one and the other one. I have to focus on the career that I have set in motion. I've been working hard for this for the past 4 years, going to college, and I'm very excited to get started. Just because I left doesn't mean I won't be in any other crews at some point in the future. Just a heads up. The reason I left Charon is because of my life and a little bit of what's happening on the inside, but I won't get into that because it's no one's business. If you know, you know, but it has nothing to do with the status of the community. It just has to do with some things I disagree with. I won't get into it. Like I said, I'm not here to ruin anybody's name. I'm just here to tell you guys how I feel about things. But yeah, I was going to retire last week, but I was told I shouldn't because of everything that was going on in the community based off of last episode, saying it would be used against them or whatever. But if that was the case, honestly, whoever would use my departure from Charon as a threat, well, not really a threat, but as a sign of, oh my god, Charon's falling apart. I don't want that to come out of my departure. I ask you, please don't use my name in anything. I have been very helpful to the community. I've been trying to get it together. It's hard. stated that last episode. It's hard, but I'm trying, and I'm still gonna try and work with the community. Everyone in the Red Dead community is able to message me at Mother Tucker Pod on Instagram. Um, you guys can message me about topics that you guys want to see in the podcast. You can just message me, say, hey, how are you? Do you want to do something sometime? You can say, hey, I want to be a guest, and I'll ask you the questions. Like, hey, are you going to be able to keep a cool head? We might get into some deep topics. Do you have knowledge on this topic? If you do, great. That puts you up ahead of everybody else that doesn't have knowledge on the topic. Going on to guests, if you're really close to any situation that we're going to talk about and it makes you emotional in some way, whether that's getting angry at someone or whatever, please do not yell, do not cuss. You can do light cussing because sometimes it emphasizes things, but I don't want you to come onto the podcast and say, oh, this person's blah, 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 and this person does this stuff, and I think it's blah, blah, blah. I don't want that. We're supposed to be friendly here. We're all chill. But yeah, if you guys want to be a guest, just message me. Back to retirement. Some people may try and get me to join specific crews. I'm not sure why you would. All I was a recruiter and a human resources guy, which, I mean, is really important in any crew. You got to have human resources, otherwise things get out of hand very quickly. But don't just try and nab me. I know you probably won't, and it's probably the last thing you guys would want to do. But I'm not in a hurry to join anything. I'm just here to vibe and give you guys news on whatever's going on. Speaking of news, we don't have any current events because it's only been a day. I haven't found anything new over the past day because I've been working all day. Next week, we're sure to have a guest. I promise you that. And if we don't, I'll try and do it on my own. But I'd like to have a guest. So, again, if you want to be a guest, DM us at Mother Tucker Pod on Instagram. We'll probably have current events around the world, just random stuff. Maybe I'll tell you guys about new games coming out. We'll see. Next week we'll probably go over the Rust server a bit more. I'm still going to be running that. Yes, it's Charon owned still, like only Charon members. But in the near future, it will probably open up to the public. I just have to talk with the other admins about it and see how they feel. I'm sure they wouldn't mind as long as people follow the rules. Primarily, though, it is a Charon server. But they're split up into factions. It's not all just one big Charon faction. There's going to be different groups of people, so you don't have to worry about coming in and having to fight like 40 people in a base raid. Like, oh, I'm going to raid these guys. Oh, 20 of them are on. Shit, now what? Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. But, yeah, that wraps up pretty much what I have to say. I just wanted to tell you guys just a little bit of the community and what's happening, and my retirement, and a little bit of why I retired, and just a little bit of the Rust server because I'm excited for it. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram at Mother Tucker Pod. And stay good to each other. I already miss you guys in Charon that I left. Again, I'm still available to hang out with, so feel free to message me. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for listening. Have a great night, day, afternoon, whatever it is for you guys. And stay frosty.